Alrighty, what is going on, everybody? Of course, my name is Blitzwinger, and ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to, of course, another episode of the Ninjago 100% walkthrough for Ninjago Shadow of Ronin. Of course, as always, guys, don't forget to leave a like if you enjoy the video, as well as name this character for, of course, the character up above there. As you can see, we have a pretty cool-looking character, quite familiar, I would imagine, at this point. But I'm looking forward to see how many of you guys get that one right. That being said, of course, today we're actually going to be starting up chapter number 4, the Obsidian Sword, which is pretty exciting stuff indeed. But before we actually start up with the actual level, what we're going to do is actually hit the start button and bring up our extras menu, because we will indeed activate the ×2 multiplier. You guys seem to be okay with it, so once again, I'm showing you guys that I am activating it, and that will obviously make it easier for us to gather up studs. But again, if you have been following the walkthrough in its proper order at this point, you should have that multiplier unlocked. So, that being said, we're going to be starting things off with the Fire Temple level, which seems to, of course, require us to complete the level, which you should have done at this point. Collecting 22,000 studs, which we will do momentarily. Finding 3 collectibles. We found 1 of 3, of course, for completing the level. Then we also do need to get through the Fire Temple without being burned, which is going to be a bit of a challenge for sure. It's a Fire Temple after all. And last but certainly not least is to defeat 3 of Ronin's goons with Kai's powers. So without further ado, let's go on ahead and dive on in to today's level. And here we go. It looks like a pretty hot situation.
Oh, why do you think they call this the Fire Temple? Ha! It is a bit toasty, yeah.
My temperature is being kept stable at 98.6 degrees.
Of course it is.
Man, why couldn't I be part air conditioner?
Whoa, I actually never noticed that he was sweating.
What's with I?
That was pretty cool.
Just wait. You'll see when it's your turn.
Don't worry. I'm right here, brother.
This is so weird. It's like a cheese dream, only I'm awake. And I didn't eat any cheese.
Kai, watch out!
Uh-oh. Trap door.
Wait for it.
Something's about to go wrong.
And there we go.
Well, at least now we know why it's called the Fire Temple.
Oh, great. Your dream just became our nightmare, Kai.
Here we go. Time to go ninja mode. Alright, so here we are, ready to rock and ready to somewhat roll. Alright, so it looks like we're going to need Lloyd right off the bat. So let's go ahead and summon him in as he goes on ahead and assembles a bridge, or makeshift, of course, bridge. More like jumping pads that can act like a bridge. And here we are. Whoa, whoa, okay, wait. I just failed the not getting burned thing. Why was he constantly running over and over again? I didn't want to run there. Ah, that was frustrating. Looks like I'm not getting that brick for not getting burned, that's for sure. Uh-oh. Careful. Okie dokes. Ow, ow. Here we go. Oh, come on, stay up there. Oh, come on! That was... Caramba! That was a pretty good run. Up until I decided to make it not a great run. There we go. Okie dokes. Ouch. Here we go. No! Okay, it doesn't seem like I'm not getting burned at this point, so I might as well just focus on not the actual not burning part, but more so just completing this challenge, because right now I'm struggling to even do that. So, for what it's worth, I really, really need to do better. Okie dokes. And come on, get up there, nice. Alright, spooky dinosaurs, no! Okay, well this is just not gonna work out for us, is it? Okay, we need Sensei Wu, that's what we need. Mr. Wu, please assist us. Please. Pretty pleased with the cherry on top. Thank you. Alright, so we're going to put that into position, and then we wait. We patiently, very patiently, I will say. Wait? I was a bit confused by that. Why was that jump so terrible? That was really weird. Yes! One-hit wonder! Finally unlocked! It only took half a year! But I actually did it, guys! That's incredible! Alright, so we managed to get that done somehow. Wowzers.
We gotta time this just right.
Here we go. Oh my goodness. Now I fall into the lava, of course. Of course. I think I'm definitely gonna need to do this challenge twice. Like you see right there, that's the problem. You respawn and you start running right off the bat. How are you supposed to dodge that? You're not. You can't do it. So that's a bit of an issue there. At least in my opinion it is. No! I didn't want to run over. I really did not. I swear to you guys. There we are. Ran over successfully this time. So that's at least something. Let's pull the lever.
Can you find another way to block it?
Yep, there's a giant arrow that points me to put this thing in the way. So I believe that will work perfectly fine. And here we go. So there we are. Took out 3 of the foes. Oh no, sorry, took out 2. Oh no, there we go. Took out 3. Perfect. Took out 3 foes using our firepower. So that's another gold brick attained for us, which is pretty awesome. Unfortunately, again, as I said before, we're not getting the gold brick for not taking any fire damage, or being burnt, of course. So that's a bit unfortunate, but other than that, we've done pretty well so far. Alright, so let's go ahead and slice and dice this thing. Grab that. And of course, if I was a little bit more cautious and not so hasty, I would say, which is something that I've told you guys before, in the 100% walkthroughs, you do want to be a lot more cautious. It's just worth it. There's no reason for you to be so aggressive as you were before. Yet, I don't listen to my own advice, clearly. Alright, so, we've already got 22,000 pieces, which of course means that at this point we would have our True Ninja ranking, which would give us one of our collectibles, which is pretty awesome. So let me go ahead and destroy that thing. That's good work.
Huh?
Alright, so now over here we're going to need to do a little bit of pulling and pull in one of our characters, Sensei Garmadon. Very cool stuff indeed. Can we not smash that? Oh, I guess we can't. I guess I kind of forgot about that.
Now, Jay. I'll tell you when to stop turning them.
Alright, let's do a little bit of twisting. There we go. We got him. Zane has helped us out in aligning all of these correctly. And now we can, of course, actually utilize the jump pads in their proper order. Let's get some goodies here. Okay, good stuff. Of course, studs are always handy, especially when we're going to be buying characters, so especially in this early get-go, try to collect as many of them as possible, but at the same time, try not to be falling into the fire. I don't understand what's wrong with me today. I'm like Mr. Fire Bath over here. I've taken like 500 fire baths at this point. Certainly isn't the greatest idea, that's for sure, especially when one of the gold bricks is to not do this.
Bet this valve operates something important.
Okay. We will verify what it operates in just a moment. Whoops. Oh, come on. I wasn't even close to the flames. Here we go.
Thanks.
Let's raise this up. Because there is the Obsidian sword that belongs to, of course, the one and only, the master of the fire element, Kai. I like how he stepped off that brick just in the right nick of time, or else he would have been toast. There he is. Ready to rumble and ready to tumble.
My wow. It's all coming back.
Oh my wow. I'm not sure what that is.
Elemental abilities back.
No, I'm in terrible pain right now. Arg, ouch, ooh. Actually, it kind of tickles.
I would still be careful of the lava, Kai. It is many times hotter than mere fire.
And Kai's response is, I guess, to ignore that. No response at all. He's like, I'm not sure about that. I think I'll just be fine.
Me to go there.
Okay, there we are. Turning off the flames so that, of course, our other teammates can actually make their way safely, because they, unfortunately, obviously don't have the power of fire. So if they did what we just did, they would just simply burn themselves. So clearly they needed our assistance in that regard. Come on, go spinning. Alright, good work. So now we need to put out some fires. And we will do so in just a moment. Or I guess we could just right away focus on melting down the dragon. There we go. Ooh, nice. Lots of studs. So by the way, you can see that even though we have the ×2 multiplier, we still collected 42,000 studs. So that's a pretty good result, of course. And that kind of shows you that you could still get it even without the stud multiplier. Okay, so we're gonna need a nice big rock right here to help us out. And that's gonna go tumbling over there. Alright, good stuff. Good stuff indeed. Alright, we need Kai. Kai, you're back up again. And let's get you on one of these moving spooky platforms. Not really what I was intending to do there. Okay, I guess we could just do this. That's a lot easier. Light both of those up, which has now revealed a secret passage for us to scale. Uh-oh. So by the way, this is another opportunity right here to use your fire element. Remember, for that gold brick. So if you haven't gotten that yet, you can certainly do so right here. There are 3 enemies once again, so still something that you could go ahead and partake in. Keep that in mind. Alright, give that a nice pull, my friend. Good work, guys. Good work indeed. I like it. I like the teamwork here. I certainly do like the teamwork. Careful. Let's get a few extra studs right here. Smash and bash that stuff out of the way. That is pretty good. Now we're going to carefully, as you saw right there, don't want to be falling off taking damage. Carefully fall down here to get our final collectible for the level. I'm going to open that up using a key, of course. Whoa. That's pretty spectacular. Got some bones to jump on. Let's go bone hopping. Careful. Alright, there it is. Our final character, General Kozu. Okay, Zane, you've got to move, broski. Or buddy. Or broski buddy. You can't just be standing in my way like that. Unacceptable. Unacceptable. Alright, there we go. So, now last but certainly not least, all we need to do is bring in Kai. Whoops. Melt that thing down to create a passageway, or in this case, an exit. And run on through. Or run on through now. Come on, guys.
This giant mouth is the way out, right, Kai?
Oh yeah, for sure.
No idea, but it's either that or staying here and slowly broiling.
Oh man, I do like broiled food.
Not when the food is you, Cole. Not when the food is you.
I wouldn't eat you guys. Honestly. Do I really have to say that?
I like how they spelled HAFTA, like H-A-F-T-A,
Come on.
instead of have to.
Stop looking at me hungrily, Cole.
You're spooking me out, Cole. You're spooking me out. Alright, so it seems as though we managed to get all 4 gold bricks out of the 5 available. Of course, the one thing that we did fail on is to get through the fire temple without being burned. So what I'm going to do, guys, is I'm going to quickly get through the level once again. And I'll see you guys in just a momento to conclude the video and say our goodbyes.
Oh my, wow, it's all coming back. I guess I got a little back. No, I tried to make it now. All right, I'll I'm so careful about it. It's making fire.
Alright guys, so there you have it, of course. Completed the level now successfully without being burnt. And I honestly would maybe even recommend to do this in 3 runs. First time, of course, just completing the story for the very first time to get to complete the level brick and so on and so forth, and unlock free play. So that'll be your first completion. Second completion, focus on the other 3 gold bricks and all the other collectibles, including the red power brick. And then lastly, go through the temple nice and quick. It shouldn't take you more than 5 minutes, really. It's a pretty quick process without getting hit by any of the fire, so just be a little bit cautious in the very early get-go. And when you're jumping over those magma floating rocks, that's really the most challenging part. And then other than that, it's a pretty straightforward level. There isn't too much difficulty to it. So all that being said, of course, there you guys have it. That is the completion of the Fire Temple. I do indeed hope that you guys enjoyed today's 100% walkthrough episode for Ninjago Shadow of Ronin. Hope to see you lovely folks here for, of course, next day's episode, which will be 4-2, which is exciting because we're getting ever so closer to the midway point of the game. That being said, of course, as always, guys, if you enjoyed the video and it helped you out in any way, shape, or form, please don't forget to hit that like button. And as always, I will indeed see you guys later, alligators. Bye-bye, everyone.